Hello students, today we are going to do another literary term called blank verse. Now blank verse is a literary device defined as unrhyming verse written in iambic pentameter. In poetry and prose, it has a consistent meter with 10 syllables in each line. That's called a pentameter, where unstressed syllables are followed by stressed one. 5 of which are stressed but do not rhyme at all. It is also called as unrhymed iambic pentameter. Now, I'll just give you a list of all the features of the blank verse. Blank verse poetry has no fixed number of lines. It has a conventional meter that is used for verse drama and long narrative poems. It is often used in descriptive and reflective poems and dramatic monologues. The poems in which a single character delivers his thoughts in the form of a speech. Blank verse can be composed in any kind of meter such as iambic, trochee, sponde, and dactyl. Type of blank verse poetry. Iambic pentameter blank verse. It has an unstressed oblique stressed syllable. Trochee blank verse has stressed oblique unstressed syllables. Anapest blank verse has unstressed, oblique stressed syllables, and dactyl blank verse has stressed, unstressed syllable. Now, the Earl of Surrey introduced blank verse in English literature in 1540. Milton, Shakespeare, Marlowe, John Donne, John Keats are many other poets and dramatists who have used this device in their works. Now, just we'll have a small look at some of the examples of the blank verse. We have a poem by Robert Frost, Mending Walls. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that spends the frozen ground swell under it and spills the upper boulders in the sun. So now you can see that there is no rhyming in the last word of the sentence. Wall, second line has it, third line has sun. So there is no rhyming. So this is called a blank verse. The poem has no proper rhyme scheme. However, there is a consistent meter in 10 syllables of each line. It is the following the iambic pentameter pattern with 5 feet in each line. Only the first line is written in trochee pattern. All the stressed syllables are marked in bold. There is a strong tradition of using blank verse in English poetry. Indeed, the literary historian Dr. Paul Fussell Jr. had estimated that the majority of the English poetry has been written in blank verse. Blank verse became popular in the 16th century when Christopher Marlowe and then William Shakespeare began incorporating it into their works. If you read Shakespeare's plays carefully, you will soon begin to notice that much of the dialogue is written in unrhymed iambic pentameter, that is, in blank verse. The famous work Paradise Lost by John Milton, it is also written in blank verse. Blank verse was also popular with the romantic English poets like Wordsworth, Keats, Shelley, Coleridge and Lord Byron, as well as some of the contemporary American poets like Robert Frost, E. E. Cummings, Emily Dickinson. Now, blank verse allows an author not to be constricted by rhyme scheme, which is limited in English. Yet it still creates a more poetic sound and a sense of pattern due to the regular use of the stressed and the unstressed syllables. Meter is generally easier to use in English than rhyme since the majority of the words are short with 1 or 2 syllables, unlike in Roman languages. Thus, it was in favor with English poets for nearly 500,000. Free verse has replaced the blank verse in popularity in the most recently written poetry, however. Now, poets have started using free verse where there is a blank verse, there is no rhyme scheme, yet the syllables and the stressed and the unstressed syllables are not used in the proper manner. Originating from the Latin and the Greek sources, blank verse is widely employed as a vehicle in English dramatic poetry and prose to create specific grandeur. Blank verse has similarity to normal speech, but it is written in a variety of patterns which brings interruptions such as pauses. Therefore, the intention is to produce a formal rhythmical pattern that creates musical effect. Hence, it tends to capture the attention of the readers and the listeners, which is its primary objective. Thank you.